celebration of the RCB winning IPL after 18 years turned it into a deadly disaster in Bengaluru. At least 11 innocent lives were lost in the horrific stampede outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium. The stampede took place when a massive crowd that gathered outside the stadium went out of control and certain administrative lapses were highlighted. Now, fan frenzy spiraled out of control. People were seen climbing trees, bus rooftops, breaking barricades and rushing toward the gates, triggering panic and chaos at its peak. Now, at 2:10 p.m., stadium gates opened and by 3:55 p.m., the chaos had already erupted. Police, in fact, responded with a lathi charge to disperse the crowd, but the damage was already done by then. What's even more shocking about this entire series of developments that took place is that after the deadly stampede, the Karnataka government went ahead with a felicitation ceremony for the RCB team at Vidhana Soudha instead of bringing the entire program to a halt after all that took place outside the stadium. And no visible crowd regulation or the lack of basic administrative management was glaring at this event. The question looms, who is responsible for the killer stampede that took place in Bengaluru? Let's take you through some reactions now.
We are not even seen in that crowd. Parents were literally finding their kids. Seniors were running away that we don't want to be part of this, please let us go out. But the youth were just in the fun that we just want to see the players. They literally didn't care what's happening or, we should just rescue them or help them out. We could see people climbing the trees, climbing the towers. No one was bothered. Like players became the only thing in their mind and the celebration. Yeah, but it was really bad.
बैरिकेड के नीचे गिर गया था, ठीक है, उसके ऊपर बहुत सारे लोग फंस गया था. सो पीछे वाला जो रहता है वो लोग मर गया. 4 लोग मर गया. 4 लोग इधर ही मर गया. और 2 लोगों को सीपीआर देने के लिए हम कोशिश किया था. उन लोगों को कोशिश करने के टाइम में पुलिस वाला ने हमको मना कर दिया कि आप डॉक्टर नहीं है.
With that, we have Anaga Keshav joining us live from Bengaluru at this given point. Anaga, a very good morning to you. You know, we have been looking at the series of events that's taken place since yesterday, since this morning. And there's just 2 things that have been glaring at us. That is the administrative lapses and how the public, the ones who were there to celebrate the victory of their team, the RCB, they were completely ignored and they were completely overlooked, even when the cops had raised this as a concern.
Well, you know, what's more heartbreaking is the fact that most of those who died are youngsters. In fact, the place where I'm reporting from, the boy, we believe, is a teenager. He's 14 years old is what the residents nearby are saying. We're reporting right from outside his residence. We're trying to be as sensitive as we can when we report. His family is inside. That's his house in Bengaluru's Yelahanka. In fact, another girl, Sahana, 24 years old, her body is in Kolar, just about 2-hour drive from here. We believe she is only 24 years old, employed in Bosch company. By working so hard, she had secured a job in Bosch company. Sahana, 24 years old, who tragically passed away in yesterday's stampede. In today's place where we are reporting from, he's still a school-going boy, only 14 years old, we believe, and he's just lying there lifeless in front of his parents. That's the kind of terrible tragedy we are talking about. In fact, yesterday, when the stadium could only accommodate 35,000 people, close to 3 lakh people turned up. In fact, the Chief Minister in his press meet yesterday kept reiterating that he was unprepared for this. They did not expect the kind of crowd that would turn up. In fact, the policemen who were deployed at the spot were massively outnumbered by the kind of crowd that turned up. Very unmanageable crowd who turned up in lakhs of numbers, close to 3 lakh numbers, we believe. So much so that even metro services were halted after a point. Metro trains stopped running by Cubbon Park and Dr. Vidhana Soudha and Dr. Ambedkar Vidhana Soudha stations, which is the most heavy footfall metro stations in Bangalore. That's the kind of crowd that we are talking about. Tragically, 11 innocent lives have been lost. All of them are very, very, very young people who had been there just to catch a glimpse of of their favorite RCB players and Virat Kohli. Very tragic incident that has happened. In fact, the BJP has also sought accountability from DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah. They've questioned as to how did they have the heart to go about their celebration while people were dying outside and suffocating. That's the kind of questions that are being raised while compensation amounts are being given to the families of victims. No amount of money or no amount of condolences from any top leader is going to bring back the lost lives. That's the kind of tragedy that we are talking about, reporting right outside the residence of just a 14-year-old boy who's lying lifeless inside.
Right, Anaga, 14-year-old boy is what we hear at this given point, who lost his life, who had dreams of, in fact, probably going there and catching a glimpse of the heroes in red yesterday. But unfortunately, this is what circumstances led to. Yes, we are still questioning as to who is accountable behind that.